Hey everybody, and welcome back for another video. In today's video, we are talking about Bad Batch episode 6 from season 1 that just came out this past Friday. It is called Decommissioned, and there's a reason for that, and we'll get to that in a little bit. So obviously we have Sarah here with us. My camera is backwards compared to what I'm looking at her. So we have Sarah here with us to my side. And so we're going to go over a quick overview of the episode, give our thoughts on our favorite parts of the episode, and then leave it up to you whether you want to go out and watch it. So this episode, we find the Bad Batch. They go back to the person they were talking to in the previous episode that gave them their mission from the last episode. If you haven't seen episode 5, they went on a little mission to rescue a Rancor. Spoiler alert. And so this new mission is so that they have to go and find this droid. I don't remember what planet it was, but they have to go either bring the whole droid back or at least the head, because that has the information that they need for this bounty. So the Bad Batch takes off, and in the meantime, while they're on their way, Omega is seen practicing with her new bow, which is really nice. It's something we haven't seen before. The bow itself, then it's interesting because the little piece on it kind of looks like the Inquisitor's lightsaber, the circle part of it. So I don't exactly know if it's like a blaster, like what is actually made up in that in the gun, or bow and arrow, I should say. But yeah, so she has that. She's learning how to shoot it and do practice. When we actually get to the planet, we get to kind of like a factory area, and our group is going towards the factory, and we find out that the factory is melting down the droids from the Separatists. So at this point, the Separatists have been taken care of, thanks to Darth Vader, and the Emperor wants these droids taken care of. He doesn't want them, to be the opposition, so to speak, against his army. So he's doing what he needs to destroy these droids. Well, one of the droids that's in there is the one that the Bad Batch needs, of course. So they go in, and they're trying to sneak around the police droids. They were not warned that these were there, but they're doing their best to get in and out as quickly as possible. One thing along the way is they run into this other pair, the other two individuals. And at first, I didn't quite recognize who they were because they were only in the Clone Wars for a little bit, but I'm pretty convinced it's the two characters that Ahsoka was with in the beginning of the Clone Wars season 7, I believe it is, whatever the most recent one was. More about that in a minute. They eventually find the droid, and they're able to get the headpiece off of there to take with them. They are ambushed, and I think it's Tech is able to hack into the droid's head and command the Separatist army to combat the police droids, which was pretty cool. They end up trying to escape, and while they're escaping, the droid head, I think it got shot or something. One of them dropped it, then it got blasted a few times, so the head was, not useful anymore. They kind of failed their mission at that point. But as the Bad Batch and these two individuals that they met up with are leaving, we find out that Tech actually put the memory of the droid's head in a little device. I don't know what you want to call it.
Memory stick.
Yeah, it's a big memory stick, like a big old USB drive. It's about this big. And he gives it to him saying, we want you to, or we know you're going to do good with this, so please take it. And then the Bad Batch leave. They're going to be on their way back to probably informing the lady that they talked to, that they got the mission from. Go back to talk to her about what happened. But before the episode wraps up, there's one thing that we don't know what it is yet, but it's a pretty good cliffhanger, simply because we don't know who it is. So the two girls that are flying away, that Hunter gave the piece to, and they were from the Clone Wars. Excuse me, because I don't know their names. Um, their R2 unit turns around and projects somebody, and we kind of only see their shoulder, at least somewhere in that area. And they don't talk, they don't do any body movements except for just turning to face them. I don't think that the two girls are affiliated with like Darth Maul or anybody, like Black Sun, or I think it's called Black Sun. Black Spot. I don't remember what it was. Whatever the crime lords were from Solo. I think it's actually Ahsoka. That's my guess because they were affiliated with Ahsoka, and they could be like, "Hey, we know you used to deal with the clones. Just so you know, we saw some cool ones. They're not killing anybody."
Yeah, what they said I think was pretty important was just letting this person know, we went on this mission to find the droid head. We had help. It was these 4 rogue clones, and I know where to find them. I just thought you should know. So
Yeah,
that's the information that they're telling this mystery character.
yeah, and maybe if it is Ahsoka, she might be looking for Rex. Although I think they split at the end of season 7. But yeah, she might be trying to find other clones that are disbanded. She was with Rex not too long ago, like in the Clone Wars. So maybe this will be their way to find Rex, because we know from a couple episodes ago they were actually looking for him, but they just missed him in the passing.
Do you want to briefly mention what happened to Wrecker? Because I think that was
Yeah,
pretty important.
that was the next thing I was going to talk about because I slightly forgot about it. So one thing that's kind of unfortunate for Wrecker is that he keeps banging his head on different things in these episodes. And in this episode is the third time. We know good things come in threes. He finally hit his head a third time, and he kind of muttered good soldiers, and then he kind of went unconscious for a little bit. I'm kind of wondering if that means that his chip is finally starting to get rattled enough where he might start to have those tendencies of the clones that obey their orders no matter what. And the issue with that, of course, is that if he decides to, he might end up trying to carry out Order 66 if he sees a Jedi. So he did not go overboard yet. It was just a small little thing that he muttered as he went unconscious. When he woke back up, he was fine.
When he woke back up, he heard the full saying, and then he shook his head and it went away.
Yeah, kind of like an echo in his head.
Yeah.
So yeah, that might be something moving forward, especially if that person was Ahsoka and she ends up meeting up with these clones. But yeah, that about does it for the overall episode. I did like it. I thought it was pretty good. It wasn't just it was kind of a filler, but at the same time they established some good things. So I give this one a thumbs up. Sarah, what was your favorite part from the episode?
I think my favorite part, because I don't have any, I've never seen the Clone Wars, so I don't pick up on all those things that you tend to pick up on. So not having that background knowledge, my favorite part was the 2 girls. One of them said, we need to create a distraction, and then the other one came up and said the exact same thing. We need to create a distraction. So the first one said, is there an echo in here? And of course, one of our Bad Batch guys is named Echo, so he comes up, yeah, I'm here. My name's Echo. So it was just one of those funny things of like, what are the odds, of that person, trying to I like the joke. Bottom line is, I like the joke.
It was a good comedic moment from this episode. I thought that was a good one too. What
would your favorite part be?
I think my favorite part was the fact that they're showing more of the Star Wars lore, like what happened between Revenge of the Sith and, well, now you would say Rogue One, since that's the next movie in the timeline, because we got to see what happened to the droids from the Separatists. They didn't just disappear. They're now in these factories being melted down. What they're being used for, we don't know. But they are filling that gap of, hey, this is another thing that happened in the prequels. This is where it is now, moving forward towards the uh, ever growing empire. And I hope we get more and more of those little tidbits as we go along. Some full-fledged stuff like the stuff we had in the first couple episodes would be nice, but I'll take these little bits and pieces too. Every little bit counts. I think that's about it. We went over the episode. We talked about our two favorite parts, and now it's up to you whether you want to go out and watch this episode of The Bad Batch. We are on episode 6 out of, I believe, 16. So we are approaching the halfway point. Still really don't know where this show is going as far as, what might be the finale or what conflict will be towards the end, but we'll see. Maybe it'll be something with Crosshair. Maybe he'll be redeemed. Who knows? If you haven't already, please turn on notifications. That way you will be notified when the next Bad Batch discussion drops. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Drop us a like if you like this video, and drop us a comment letting us know your thoughts on this week's episode of The Bad Batch. And then, as always, everybody, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.